Hello and welcome to the Green Machine. We're live and we're sexy. I'm David, your host, joined by Nick. No, Martin. He is traveling from Greece, or he's picking a fight with John Courtney somewhere on Twitter, as he always does. But he's not on with us tonight. You're going to have to do with just the two of us, I'm afraid. The original Green Machine team, if you don't count Breen and all that bar Steelers nonsense.
It's kind of like, before parents have kids, it's just a lot more peaceful and mindful and romantic. Yeah. I mean,
less language, less bad language and stuff.
Yeah,
You've got the good guys of Green Machine with you here tonight. Nick, how are you, man? We're very busy day today. We've already got a cheeky little podcast out of the way before we go live.
Yeah, we got a little bonus episode to promote Kick on Era. So we'll be chatting about that. But yeah, we love to give the listeners a little bonus, but more importantly, we want to get the word out about Kick on Era because it's going to be a brilliant event up in Dundalk in the Imperial Hotel on Saturday. So Ireland's first ever Kick convention. So we're looking forward to that one.
You're going to be at it. We'll talk about all that stuff. And we've do have a cracking show ahead of you here today. We're going to get into it, actually. Probably the most notorious, hated figure of Irish football, other than myself, of course, we're going to get into probably the most hated figure in Ireland, actually, at one stage. But he was in the Sunday Independent anyway, so you can see him there. So, Nick, Bono has another brother. What do you make of that?
I actually saw that this morning. Jesus, yeah. Were you kind of hoping it was you, Dave?
That would just be like a dream come true.
Yeah.
But could you imagine if you found out that...
Imagine finding out one day you're Bono's brother. That would be awful. Be awful, wouldn't it?
Until you wanted a loan, mate, you'd be fucking sorted.
Yeah.
Of course we jest. Yeah.
Really?
Well, a little bit. Well, there he is anyway. John Delaney, he's back again. Mark Tighe's after him. He's like a bulldog with a bone. Or chewing a wasp, whatever it is. But he's working with the Sunday Independent now, Mark Tighe is. He's not working with the Sunday Times, which is kind of weird because Dennis O'Brien owns the Sunday Independent, doesn't he?
Does he? I didn't know that. Well, he probably has I don't know if he owns it, but does he have some massive share, I'd imagine?
I thought he had a thing. Do you remember a few years ago, the Independent had John the Baptist?
Yeah.
But
that's still on YouTube. That's, Jesus, that is an uncomfortable watch.
That is on YouTube. That is fantastic, and definitely give it a go. Before we get into
fantastic's one word, yeah.
Oh, it's amazing because you know John Delaney could run FIFA. Did you know that?
Wouldn't be hard, would it?
Best not say too much because he probably will. So
he ticks all the boxes for FIFA. Let's be fair.
He does. Yes, he does. Before we get into it, as always, you can have your say. You can say what you want. Leave a comment. We'll get back to you on that. We'll let him build up, and then we'll get on to it. But we're going to talk a little bit about John Delaney anyway. So Mark Tighe said, well, he has the front page, and it says, revealed the emails Delaney is attempting to conceal. So basically, if you're looking for a bit of an update, John Delaney, there he is there. He is basically... There's about 270,000 emails that the ODCE want to go through. Now, the ODCE are they are the Office of the Director of Corporate Enforcement. And in fact, they just want to make sure that there's no foul play in John Delaney's corporate affairs. Oh, the irony. But anyway, we'll move on before we get sued. Basically, yes.
Probably have been already.
PlayStation's probably gone already. My three-legged rabbit, the whole lot. So basically, 270,000 emails, and this is holding up the big court case. And the one that he won't get out of, and now from his mammy, like he did in front of the Oireachtas back in 2019. So basically, Nick, they want to drag him and go through absolutely everything. They want to, go through these 270,000 emails. Now, he wants the judge to go through these 270,000 emails individually, which is never going to happen. He's just basically delaying. These are delay tactics, one could say. So he doesn't want them available. He reckons they're privileged, which means that they're not for public consumption. because he's got dealings with family lawyers and all this kind of stuff. And Ray Walsh, I think, who was the interim, actually took over from him, didn't she, as CEO?
She was only there for a couple of months, wasn't she? But she was very much a Delaney ally, I think, at the time.
Yeah, just all that sort of stuff going on. But like some real fascinating. So it wasn't Sunday Independent. It is still available online. But it's a real fascinating. It is a fascinating read as always. But basically, yeah. Did you see that he's got 78 litigations going on? Did you see all that?
Yeah, and some unusual ones as well. I mean, if you look through some of them, I mean, Big are there. Big actually put a tweet out yesterday saying how delighted they were that they made the cut. You know,
I know. I was like, oh, I hope Lanson Road's on there, but I wasn't really around.
Some of the ones here. I'm just looking at it. The Brazilian one. I'm just trying to find it there. Do you remember I don't know if you came across it. Jesus. I'm probably not going to find it there.
Like, there's some mad ones here. Like, so the first one is John Delaney versus Goal.com, 2016-17, versus Journal.com, the Olympic Council of Ireland, correspondence with Arthur Cox, the OCI advices, redacted, Limerick FC. Do you remember? Jesus,
have it here. John Delaney and La Nación newspaper of Argentina and Brazil.
Yeah, so number 23. Yeah.
Wow.
Journal.ie, Facebook. That has to be Why Big, doesn't it? Oh no, sorry. They're actually mentioned number 26. John Delaney and Why Big, you boys, and Green Supporters Club 2014.
Yeah.
Waterford Local Radio 2016. The Sun newspaper. Surprised didn't go after the bloody Cub Scouts. Versus Irish Daily Star, independent newspapers, Sunday Times, Evening Herald, which are under the Independent. I always thought then communications with English. Oh wow, just all of these things going on. 78, the Sun newspaper, everything, RT and prime time. So much going on there. There was an interesting one. I mean, when you look through it, obviously this thing is going to go on for years and years and years.
Oh yeah.
But there was an interesting one here I found, and it was the comment. I'm just going to read a bit here. It was basically about how much money John Delaney, according to COSI, who were brought in by Sport Ireland to do the audit back in 2019 and 2020, and it's the amount of money they reckon that John Delaney has enjoyed from the FAI. So this is a quote, in case anyone's watching, but I'll read it out for you here now. A Sport Ireland audit of the FAI found that the association made payments of almost €1 million to cover Delaney's personal expenses, including his 50th birthday party and rent over his last 5 years there. And we continue. While Delaney made several repayments, COSI, the accountants hired by Sport Ireland, calculated that the excess benefit he enjoyed amounted to... Well, I was going to ask you to guess, but you already know, don't you?
Oh, it's around, is it 760 grand? No? Well, no, I don't know. I thought that's what it was. I thought that's what I saw.
You've actually overestimated, but here is the grand amount. So he walked away with, according to COSI, not us, by the way, with a grand total of €724,629, euros and 42 cents. Good on you, John. What a man.
You have to give it to him.
Yeah, incredible.
What a shrewd operator. What a smooth criminal. I'm probably not allowed to say that, am I?
Alleged.
Well, no, just what a smooth operator. Let's say. Let's retract that. Let's retract that previous statement. And
we apologize.
Go with smooth operator.
Smooth operator, not smooth criminal. Yeah, he's over in London at the moment. Apparently, he was working with Dennis O'Brien, a company called Delay. Yeah, Delay. His name is company's Delay, but there you are. So there's John Delaney. He's still keep an eye on this one anyway. But it's great to see Mark Tighe has not let go, and Mark Tighe is a friend.
Well, we spoke to Bernard O'Byrne last year, and he said there could be another book if they wanted it, didn't he? Another Champagne Football.
And I would absolutely read it. I do read Champagne Football, by the way, because I am in it. Yeah. And there's a load of other stuff about Delaney, but mostly because my bit's the best.
Your bit's pretty good, though. I mean, your bit is a bit disturbing, really. Just the way that things went. The whole idea that that the fans that didn't make the effort to get tickets got wined and dined on a
Yeah,
train,
and we had
where
a
the
big.
real fans who put the plans in place were thrown on a bus where you couldn't take a piss.
Yeah, that was great. And I almost had a big fucking fight on the bus as well. There you go. The joys of being an Ireland supporter. Anyway, we'll move it on there. I'm sure there will be plenty of developments with big good old John anyway as we go on
Big Daddy
yonder.
John.
Big Daddy John. All right, let's have a little look at our boys in green. Love that picture.
Glorious.
Do say so myself. So anyway, a lot of stuff going on with some transfers, but we're going to have Nick has very kindly put together a list of the transfers that have happened so far. So let's just get into it now, Nick. Nice and quickly there. So Cathal Harfinen's gone from Cork City to AC Milan for an undisclosed fee. Owen O'Connell's gone from Rochdale to Charlton. That's free. Leave Scales, Celtic to Aberdeen. That's a loan. Sam Foley, Tranmere to Barrow. That's free. Peter Chioso, Luton to Rotherham. That's undisclosed. Aidan McGeady, Sunderland to Hibernian, free. Darren Lenihan, Blackburn to Middlesbrough, undisclosed. Conor Grant, Rochdale to MK Dons, undisclosed. And Conor McCarthy, St Mirren to Barnsley on a free. Obviously, Cathal Heffernan there, he's the big one, really, isn't he? He was brought on loan, wasn't he? I think in January, and he's impressed Paolo Maldini.
Yeah, look, we kind of spoke about him last week, didn't he? Like he's just a pure athlete, and we have to be careful with our expectations here. Like Ryan Nolan went over to Inter Milan, didn't he, at a similar kind of age, and he's going to develop so well. It's a very different way of training and development that they have in Italy. Even in terms of the nutrition and the sports science and just their whole holistic approach. So, you never know. Like he might break in there, or he might carve out a career in Italy. Liam Kerrigan as well. It looks like he's going to Como 1907. That I don't think that's confirmed or anything. So that could be another player in over in Italy, and just confirmed as well today. So Trent Coney Doherty, who plays for Derry City, he looks like he's going to go to Liverpool. He's only 15, very, very highly rated. I've never actually seen him play, but just in terms of the little bits of research I've done, he's a very, very exciting player. He's played for Ireland at schoolboy level. And Josh Keeley as well is another one. He's gone from St. Pat's to Spurs. So that's an excellent move. I was actually in the Spurs stadium last week, so I'm very envious of him playing his football there. But look, it's been a really successful transfer market for the young lads, hasn't it? I mean, players going to Spurs, AC Milan, even thinking back to kind of last year where you've Kevin Zeffe going to Inter. So the League of Ireland is I suppose it's producing a lot of very, very good players going to very, very big clubs, similar to Gavin Bazunu a few years ago, wasn't it? But it's excellent. It's excellent. And, there's going to be plenty more to come, I think.
Yeah, also just on Colin Harfin, I was reading a quote there saying that he was absolutely delighted to be staying at AC Milan. He loves the culture, he loves the Italian culture, which is really what you want to hear. Too many young Irish lads have sort of fallen by the wayside over in England, getting into drinking culture and all that kind of stuff, where in Italy, they'll teach him the good habits.
Yeah. And keep in mind, like, both his parents are ex-professional athletes, so they'll have him well-drilled, I think. Very well-drilled and well-grounded, yeah.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at another list of transfers here as well. Liam Hogan, Stockport to Oldham, that's on a free.
This is Scott Hogan's brother.
Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. Corey O'Keefe, Rochdale to Forest Green, that's free. Alex Pearce, Millwall to AFC Wimbledon, that is free. Callum O'Dowd of Bristol City to Cardiff, that is free. Emmanuel Ozadabi, Walsall to Bradford, undisclosed. Paddy O'Connor, Bradford to Lincoln, that is free. Niall Maher, Halifax to Grimsby, that is free. Luke O'Connell, Celtic to Barnsley, free. Gavin Bazunu, Manchester City to Southampton at 12 million. Jesus, fucking all the Irish lads going away for free.
We could have set up our own club, Dave. We could have had them all.
We could have had it on.
Green Machine FC.
And you can see there with a graphic spared absolutely no expense. That's what we do for you. Obviously the big one there, isn't it, is Gavin Bazunu, City to Southampton, 12 million. Could rise
you know, Martin will be saying that the big one is Callum O'Dowd at the Cardiff.
Jesus, yeah. I mean, Bristol's just down the road from Cardiff, isn't it? Like, it's actually you just drive over.
Same motorway, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure it had absolutely nothing to do with his choice of club there. Also, actually, this will bring us in nicely into our social media watch. Will I do the graphic?
Oh, Be my guest, Dave.
I
Be my guest. I know you love a good graphic.
I do love a good graphic.
Oh, it is a nice graphic.
That's graphic porn, right there.
Soft graphic porn.
Soft graphic porn. So basically, Nathan Collins. Now, Luke McNally hasn't completed his transfer just yet, has he?
No.
But I think he's having medical today, according to Neil Reardon of the Sun.
Yeah, Neil O'Riordan kind of confirmed that the fee was
Yeah.
definitely accepted and the medical was confirmed, but the results of the medical, like there's nothing signed at the moment, but it's the wheels are in motion.
The wheels are
in motion.
The wheels are in motion. And also that could also set another set of wheels in motion. That is Nathan Collins on his way out the door at Turf Moor and going to somewhere better, like a Premier League club. You sort of, I mean, it was Martin last week stirring up shit with John Courtney, and it's you this week stirring up shit with Burnley fans. What is with the pair of you on Twitter?
No. All I did was put a post out, as I should have. It's my duty to do that. And to be fair, our good friend of the podcast, Kevin Higgins, was putting some. Your mate Kevin, was putting some excellent points out because he knows the stuff. He knows he knows more about the players, just as much about the players as he does about the running of clubs and who owns clubs and the finances and all that kind of thing. He's very well read up and very well researched. A lot of Burnley fans took offense to that post because first of all they were saying there was actually Oxford fans on that as well, and they were saying no, McNally isn't going anywhere. No, it's not happening. That's turning out to be complete nonsense. And then all the Burnley fans, well, one of them accused us of losing all our credibility as a media outlet. We were accused of being professional, which was which is brilliant. And to which I responded, we're an amateur podcast, so no, we didn't have any credibility to begin with. But no, a lot of the Burnley fans were kind of saying, no, he's not going to go. Kevin was making the point about this infamous loan that Burnley had taken out, and if they were relegated, they would have been in serious bother. And he was pretty much saying, look, you need to sell Collins. And a lot of the Burnley fans are saying, well, we sold Pope, Tarkowski is left, so that's more wages off the wage bill. Like we in a way, we get carried away with a lot of players. Jason Knight is one of them, excellent player. I'd be very surprised if he goes to the Premier League. I hope I'm wrong. I hope in a couple of months he's playing Premier League football, but I'd be surprised if he goes to the Premier League because you look at the other guys that other teams can sign, and Knight is excellent, but there are better options. With Collins, though, it's a bit different. Like, you can see how good he is. It's not just the goal against Ukraine. It's all ring. You can tell when a player is going to be a really, really top-class player. Yeah. And I don't think he's going to stay at Burnley. I really don't think it's going to happen. They've signed McNally. They've signed CJ Riley from Man City, who actually played Ireland underage. Daniel Ballard, Northern Ireland international. They signed him from Arsenal, or they got him from Arsenal. So they've a lot of centre halves. You can tell, first of all, that they wanted to replace Tarkowski. They needed to replace Ben Mee. And it looks like, if you look at McNally, if you look at Collins, very, very similar players. You can tell that is a replacement. And whether it depends what they'll cash in at, though. I don't think that they're going to, they say 40 million, but I think he's going to go to, Leicester or wherever. You know, let's have
a look at the tweets first of all. So this is when you posted out. So Green Machine from the 26th of June. Looks like Burnley have finally had a bid accepted for Oxford's Luke McNally. A little kind of jazz hand fucking thing, whatever that is. Keep an eye on this lad. We reckon he could be a full international one of the year. Van Dijk vibes off of him. Also watch the space for the move paving the way for Collins' exit, and the little kind of like shifty eyes to the left. Here's the comment to it. Blake at BFC Blake. This doesn't pave the way for Collins' exit at all, and he has the laughing emoji. Kevin Higgins. Good old Kevin comes in. If the actions of your new owners are anything to go by, the way for Nathan Collins leaving has already been paid. Burnley have their owners' debt to pay, and boy, do they value getting paid above all else. Blake responds, we have to pay 15 million of the debt this year, mate. We'll be fine. Thumbs up. Kevin Higgins again. You say, we as if the owners and the fans have the same interests and priorities at heart. There's no proof of that. No doubt you'll be fine, but Collins would like to be a Premier League player. And then, of course, Blake goes, You have no idea what you're on about. Now, Blake here has no idea who he's dealing with here in terms of stats. And Kevin Higgins, of course, goes back with an article saying, here's evidence to suggest profit is number one aim for new owners. And how that. And then, of course, Blake starts.
I had to, sorry to interrupt you there, but I had to laugh at your man Blake because, like, Kevin knows his stuff. Kevin is ridiculously read up on stuff, and he knows his stuff. So he didn't know who he was messing with, which was very cute. You know, it was very cute of Blake, to be fair. And fair play to Kevin, I have to say, because he really schooled them. He didn't want to know, like, though, did he? But you know, he put them in their place. Yeah, he actually knows more about their club than they do.
Well, yeah, this lad ran a site called Kenny's Kids. Like he said, the whole thing of it's all about knowing your stuff and stats and all that. And then Refs hate us goes, no one's going to fork out our asking price. Too valuable to us and no need to sell it with a long contract. Kevin Higgins, if reports last week are correct, the 40 million, and that's them setting out their stall before negotiations begin. If he does go, it will be for less. How much less, I don't know. Only Burnley do. It's a win-win for Burnley either way because they will cash in on a player after 12 months. You know, that's true, is it? It's like when Steve McLaren said, I'm not going to be the England manager when he was Middlesbrough. I'm going to take my contract out and sign it. No, you're doing Middlesbrough a favour there, basically. You're just putting your get-out clause up a little bit higher. And then we finish it off. Damien Walmsley, why do Irish people rate their players so highly? Don't they watch international football? Oh, Jesus, Damien, that's a pretty deep cut. And then, of course, you responded, to be fair, we can be extremely critical. Collins is the best we've produced in years. And Mike Black says, you've just burned your credibility with your last sentence. Saying,
as I said, I was delighted to be accused of being professional.
Yeah, but what does he mean that he's the best we've produced in years? Or what does he mean?
No, he meant that with this will pave the way for Collins to leave.
But what a dick! I bet you none of these arseholes will respond either.
It's funny to go though that guy Damien Walmsley. So why do Irish people rate their players so highly? Don't they watch international football? Coming from an Englishman.
I know it's gas.
Coming from an Englishman. The kings and queens of overhyping their players.
Yeah, no, I know. Unbelievable stuff. But yeah, Kevin, anyway, he is like when it comes to that sort of stuff, he is like a dog at a bone. Shame he can't win them up. Well, he schooled him there, but he doesn't school everyone.
Oh. That wasn't even about football, Dave.
Exactly. Don't mess with me about trains and war and shit like that. Anyway, but yeah. Anyway, we'll move on from social media watch. So we'll go on. Now, we mentioned at the top of the podcast, we have a lovely little event coming up. It's KitCon Era. Here we are. Look at that. It's going to be in the Imperial Hotel Dundalk. And that's on the 2nd of July. That is this Saturday, in case you're wondering. It's in association with footballkitbox.com. And it's going to be absolutely amazing. We're going to have kit vendors, kit collections, football walking tour at Dundalk, panel discussions and talks with leading kit experts, kit giveaways, Dundalk versus UCD match ticket discount. And that is all going ahead on the 2nd of July at the Imperial Hotel Dundalk. We're going to have a link for that. When we update this, when we upload this podcast, we're going to put a link out where you can get your tickets for €12, Nick.
€12, yeah. €12.
It's fantastic. It's Ireland's first ever football kit convention, and it's done by a really good guy, Paul, who runs footballkitbox.com. He's a lovely fella. And we had a little chat. Well, I didn't. They did. They had a chat with, I've got a bone to pick with you about that, son. Anyway. Yeah, but here's a little clip anyway. Here's Paul talking about the old days when what you had to go through to get a kit that you really, really wanted.
I've always been into it. You know, I have the 1984 Man United kit that I would have got handed down to me as a child, as a 7-8-year-old in Dublin, and they weren't too easy to get in the 80s. They only really started to become available sort of in the 90s, and I remember my mother wrote away to Celtic for the 1989-1990 goalkeeper jersey, and she had to write away to the club, and they sent it out. You know, this is obviously pre-internet, and kits really typically weren't involved or weren't available. You might have got some of the knockoff O'Neill's types ones, you know. But the actual kits really only kind of came in the 90s.
Shane Martin's not in actually, because he's want to talk about getting knockoff O'Neill stuff. It's a good thing he's not. I'm sure he will be watching, as he always does. No, you guys spoke to him earlier on. What a lovely fella Paul is.
Oh yeah, sound out, and a great concept. You know, first of all, the the kit boxes that he does, like, great concept in itself. But to actually have a convention, because I mean, I do listen, like that went live. That went live this afternoon. Martin and I spoke to Paul, so we spoke to him about a few things. Like we chatted about, like, I suppose, the increased interest in retro jerseys, and Paul kind of explained that over lockdown, you know, I suppose out of boredom and even, like, we spoke about the idea of, we look to nostalgia when maybe the world isn't a very nice place, and there's a big demand. So a lot more people are looking at retro jerseys. A lot more people are starting collections, and we also spoke about the evolution of shirts. You know, because did you recognize the jersey Paul had on there, Dave?
I do indeed. I know
and
you.
Weren't we only talking about it last week?
We were. Funny enough, actually, I'd forgotten the whole thing where he's got the Opal version on, hasn't he? Because that was supposed to be the first jersey with Aircom on it. And it was a bit of a mix-up, wasn't it? Because remember, FIFA came out that year, FIFA 2002, and it had the Ireland kit. It was the first one to have the proper Ireland kit, and had Opal on it. Which
because Aircom ended up on that, but Paul was kind of explaining how you went from the evolution of players having extra large jerseys, very, very heavy jerseys, not lightweight at all, to having jerseys now that are so tight fit and that are designed in such a way that it maximizes movement. But he also said, I don't want to give too much away, I do listen to the podcast, but he was saying how, how kits back then would last forever, where the kits that are made now, they fall to nothing because they're so finicky. But it was great. Like, Paul did chat through. I mean, he spoke through his own personal collection. He spoke through the stories of some of the most obscure jerseys. I mean, clubs we'd never even heard of. But he also gave us tips on how to care for your jerseys, how to mind them, and to make sure that they don't crumble or that the sponsors don't come off. So if you want tips on that, if you want cleaning tips, do listen to that episode. It was great, though. Paul was great company, I must say. Nearly as good as yourself, Dave. Nearly as good as yourself, but no, it was super. So do check that out. It'll be the episode previous to this on our different platforms.
Don't you even try. Well, there it is. A lovely bit of art there. Kit Con era, and he talks about all sorts of stuff there. It's really great. I tell you what, I wish I knew Paul when I was a kid, because I could have done with some tips when I had the old Italian 90. The away jersey, the one that we lost to Italy. I think actually we only wore the green one twice. In fact, we wore white for every other game. And I remember, like, bits of the Opal, because it was just felt. It was ironed on the felt and was like falling off. And then I had the CIS jersey, which is Commonwealth of Independent States, Soviet states like Georgia, all those kind of places. And that was the same thing. Like, CIS.
You had that jersey?
I did, yeah. I wanted, because it was there.
Wouldn't want that now.
No, it's probably coming back.
Yeah. Might be worth a few bob. Might be worth a few bob in a couple of years.
Absolutely.
Ireland might be wearing it.
Well, here is my favorite clip, and then we're going to move on. But here's my favorite clip from the podcast earlier on today.
In the room, my hands, brilliant.
Christ, escaping, and Dave has escaped us today as well, which is actually we're getting a break from him, I think, which is nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So. Why are you looking at me like that, Dave? Why are you looking at me like that?
It's a good thing you've gone home from London, sweetheart.
Doesn't Martin's tan look fantastic, though? I'm not trying to change the subject, but can we just say the Martin's tan is phenomenal?
Yeah, he looks like he's from Essex or something with that sort of tan going on there. Fucking, I mean, pair of bastards, like, the cheek of you. But anyway. Got a break.
It's great to get a break from that Martin tonight.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Three Man United fans chatting away, talking shite on the podcast.
In our element.
Bet you were, yeah. Smell a shite off it. But anyway, that's out. If you want to listen to the three lads minus me, of course. No, seriousness, no, it is actually a really good listen. It is on there, not the video. But
if you like jerseys, if you're into kit collections or you're just into jerseys, do give it a listen, because Paul's very knowledgeable about kits.
Yeah, he really is. He's a lovely fella as well. So that's the
lovely
artwork.
fella. Yeah.
Look out for it. It's on the Facebook page, Cream Machine Facebook page. It's on the website, creammachinepodcast.com. Of course, we'll give you all the information later on. And don't forget KitCon Era, the 2nd of July, 2022. That's this year. That's this week, funny enough. You got all this sort of stuff going on there. It's in the Imperial Hotel Dundalk. Tickets are €12. Sorry, €12. Already €13.
12, I thought.
€12.
Yeah.
€1 Davy tax. There you go. Driving them away from it there, but definitely give it a shout. It's Ireland's first ever kit convention, and it's going to be fantastic. And hopefully we'll get many more. But he's a good lad anyway.
Great lad.
We're gonna look to wrap things up now, Nick. Since you enjoyed your break away from me and all that.
Oh yes,
you and Martin. But we got a lovely little this week back in the day, and the clip that I have chosen for you from the Lansdowne Road archives is a lovely little game that was played between the Republic of Ireland and Mexico in 4 million degrees Fahrenheit. And in case you don't know, we were 2-0 down at this particular juncture. I think it was actually 45 degrees Celsius. And basically, Steve Staunton's boots melted. Dennis Irwin, we had Irwin, Staunton, McGrath. They all had a terrible game because the heat, it was incredible. And I'm sure there's a few people on here that were actually at the game, and it was absolutely dreadful. So we were 2-0 down. And basically, we wanted to make a double substitution. We want to put Jason McAteer and John Aldridge on just to make a tactical change, because 2-0 down was a very dodgy scoreline. With goal difference and stuff, we needed to get at least one goal back. So Jack goes to make the double substitution. Charlie O'Leary, the assistant, he was a former referee, so they used to get Charlie to do the paperwork, and they would go to the fourth official. It was always the fourth official, by the way. We just weren't introduced to him till the last few years, but it was always the fourth official. He hands the paperwork for the substitutions, but this fella, this dickhead with a yellow hat, decides to take it off him. Something about the pronunciation of Aldrich or whatever, and absolute carnage unfolds.
Well, what's going on here? That John Aldridge wants to go on, and the officials won't let him on.
You know as well.
Now, don't think you weren't born when this was on, Nick.
I was, but no, it was only 2.
Yeah, exactly.
2 and a half. Yeah.
And I remember after the Italy game, like, we were all thinking, yes, we could win it. We were fine. We beat Holland in the build-up. We beat Germany in the build-up. Holland in the build-up as well. And we beat Italy in the first game. We're on a really, really cracking run of form here. We're going to go on. We're going to smash these Mexicans. And of course, when you're a kid, you don't realize, it's Florida. It's Florida in the summertime. And it just wasn't happening. So that went on. I remember watching this with my brother, and we were in hysterics. We were like, go on, Aldo, tell him. He actually swore at him in Spanish as well. So the Mexicans could understand.
He's fluent in Spanish, wasn't he? Yeah.
He is, yeah, because when he went from Liverpool in '89 to Real Sociedad, the first non-Basque player to sign for Real Sociedad.
Yeah.
Aldrich was some player. And here's the goal, by the way, that we scored. And now the footage is not great. However, have a look at this. People always give out about Ireland not playing good football under Jack. But have a look at this for a goal, Nick.
The Mexican bench must be highly delighted with their team's labours on this day. And I say an air of gloom has descended over the Emerald Isle. But it's not over yet. Keane, Townsend and McGrath. Aldridge, Sheridan and McAteer. Back for Aldridge. Yes, that's it.
Great goal, John Aldridge.
Great goal, John Aldridge. That was a lovely goal, wasn't it?
Yeah. Champagne football.
It actually really was. I mean, we had the players to play that style.
Yeah.
very technically solid players, Roy Keane and all that. You know, even, well, he was a bit passive, but Ronnie Whelan sitting on the bench. But yeah, I don't remember that. Anyway, USA 94, probably, do you know, Jack actually missed the previous year. He missed a sports science conference, you know, to deal with fluids and all this kind of stuff, because this was the World Cup where, because Italy 90 was actually a very boring World Cup, and he brought in these brand new rules like 3 points for victory, this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And because it was America, it was going to be the hottest, one of the hottest World Cups, and he basically just didn't go, and he didn't go to the last one in 1990. He said he was unwell, and sure, we were playing put him under pressure. Sure, we were bollocks after the first game.
Yeah.
We never got going really, but anyway, that was that. That was this week back in the day. That happened 3 days ago in 1994. And we'll have another one of those next week. So we're going to go through some of your comments here, guys. As always, we love to hear from our watchers and our subscribers and our followers and whatever you want to call them. Kieran Boyle. Kieran. Lads, the best jersey we ever had was the Adidas 87 Butte. It was very... Oh, by the way. Oh, wrong one. Look at that, Kieran.
Hey.
Adidas. None of that Umbro shite. By the way, that 87 jersey was a cracker, and the away one is a magnificent away jersey as well. But yeah, Darryl O'Connor, best part of the Monday story, lads. Thank you very much, Darryl. Yes, we do love our L Monday podcast. We do have a notice.
The best part about Monday is hearing from Darryl.
Yes, and Kieran.
And Kieran, yeah, of course, Kieran.
And there we are. And as ever, away to Jason's Umbro. Would you ever bring back Adidas? I'm bringing it back, baby, spiritually anyway. Column, I watched the podcast
and Column and here
and Column. They're all good guys. I watched the podcast earlier about the kit convention. Helped pass a dull afternoon. Thank you very much, Column. And do check it out. It is on the Facebook page. I'll just share that again. It's on the Facebook page. It's also on Twitter. It's on the website. There it is. There. It's about KitCon Era. It's some fascinating insights there. Some great storytelling. And let's go back to the comments. No long. I have no time for Delaney, but that's very childish. What's very childish, Noel? Our depiction? Or is it Bono's secret brother? I don't know. Val Maguire, John Delaney has a lot to answer to. Yes, he does, Val. And hopefully in a few years' time, he will get his comeuppance. Kieran Boyle, lads, top 5 international jerseys of all time. Here we go. 5, Colombia 1990. That's a good jersey. 4, Belgium 84. I remember that one. That's also a very good jersey. West Germany 90, a classic. Holland 88 and 1 Ireland 87. All Adidas. Hashtag away to Jason number. Hashtag Adidas is your only man. Hold on, Kieran. If you're still watching, let me show you the greatest orange jersey of all time.
That's a hard one, though, Dave, isn't it? To come up with 5 on the spot.
Well, here's number 1.
Yeah, it's lovely. I hope that's authentic. Signed.
It is signed by Ronnie Whelan. Sign that for me up in Norwich. Oh, where is it? He signed that up for me up in Norwich, and basically, yeah. And look at that proper badge on that. None of that new fucking fangly artistry shite that they've done with it now. That's the proper badge. On that, made in Ireland. The brand, the 3 stripes. That's a genuine shirt. I got it years ago. Yeah, it's the proper one. So none of that false stuff that a particular fella was wearing earlier on. Let's have a look. Who could we be talking about?
In my hands, brilliant.
Christ, escaping, and Dave has escaped us today as well, which is actually we're getting a break from him, I think, which is nice.
Explain yourself, Nick. What are you doing wearing that?
That was gifted to me by my good friend Jer for my 30th birthday. Gifted to me. I didn't buy it.
I bloody well hope not. But anyway, yeah. So that's my favorite orange jersey of all time. Anyway, I'm going to put that down there. Let's go back to the L comments. Oh, do you have a top 5 jerseys, Nick?
Oh Jesus. I'll on the spot. What will I say? So if I was to give an Ireland one, of course I'm going to say the 2002 jersey. Am I? The Cameroon jersey from that same World Cup, the sleeveless one. Oh Jesus, international jerseys, is that?
Yeah, none of your Man United crap.
Oh God, do you know what? I know I'm a bit obsessed with the 02 World Cup, but that had some of the best jerseys ever in a World Cup. So I'm gonna go Ireland 2002, Cameroon 2002, South Korea 2002, Nigeria 2002, and the Brazil away kit, the kind of bluey, purpley. They're all of them are Nike except for Cameroon and Ireland. But the Cameroon one was actually sleeveless, and then they had to stitch on the kind of the black sleeves so they could have the logo. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah.
I even remember the Williams sisters getting involved in that, actually, because I think it was something. I think the heritage goes back to Cameroon. I just remember that at the time. For me, obviously, that's number one. Number two would probably be the green version. That number three is West Germany, 1990. It's similar to 88, but 1990 is the best one.
The white one or the grayish greeny?
No, the white one. The white one with the German flag going across. The style that we were supposed to have, actually, that was going around. I'm going to throw a curveball out here. Another Adidas, by the way, but I'm going to go number 4. The Euro 92 German shirt. Oh my God! It had
the one with the flag, kind of.
Had the V-neck, right? You know, the V-neck with the Adidas equipment.
Yeah.
And instead of the flag going across the chest, it just was on the arms. It was gorgeous, and I loved the Euro 92. And that was the first proper tournament I sat down and watched as a football fan. I watched Italy 90, but I was a kid. Don't really remember Euro 88, but Euro 92 was the first one I properly sat down and watched. And number 5, I'm going to go with Italy 90. No, I'm going to go with the 87 away one, actually. The one that Kieran likes, but the away version of that. It's just the reverse. It's white with the green. It was never used in a match. I don't think it was even sold. Eddie has it on the Ireland Soccer Shirt site. It is gorgeous.
But I'll tell you another lovely one again, 2002. The Italian jersey, the Kappa jersey, the one that would stretch. So
2002.
That was a particularly good World Cup. Like the Adidas and the Nike templates were outrageously nice.
They were all made in Ireland. Most of those were made in Ireland, by the way.
Nike and Adidas jerseys.
Yeah. Most of them was Ireland. Well, you have to remember, like this jersey, for example, was made in Ireland under license from Adidas. It wasn't actually made in Germany. It was made by someone who had the licensing down in Ireland. So I don't know the ins and outs, but most of them were actually made. They had the England jersey was made. I think the Brazil jersey was made there. So that's Umbro. That's Nike. Not sure if the Adidas one was. Anyway, there's something there in the RTI archives anyway, and they have it. But a lot of them are made up in Donegal, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, there you go. Let's move on. Colm, the green West German away from that period was also very striking. It really was. I know we didn't wear green. They didn't wear green because Ireland was the first country they played afterward. It's
sadly,
it's nothing to do with that. After what do you mean sadly? It was after World War II. Fucking don't
but it's
nobody associated with that shit.
No, but it should be associated with a new never mind.
Let's move on.
Losing this argument.
Let's move on. Darrell O'Connor on the YouTube channel. Sounds class and Saturday. Pity we don't have a permanent museum for Ireland jersey and memorabilia like Eddie O'Mahony. Campaigns for absolutely. Eddie O'Mahony is a friend of Green Machine and Lansdowne Road. And yes, he has campaigned tirelessly for years. In fact, Noel Mooney was chatting to him about that. I don't know how far he got with that, but he's the only CEO that actually publicly engaged with Eddie over that. So I don't know. Northern Ireland have one. Wales have one. I think England have one. I'm sure England do. It's crazy we don't have one. It's kind of passion in this country. Well,
we don't. The issue is we don't have our own stadium technically. Where if we did, there might be a museum in there.
Well, we own a bit of a stadium for a bit. That's about it, really.
Probably a couple of the seats.
A few of the seats, yeah. But yeah, as Darrell says, Saturday sounds class. That is in Dundalk. What hotel is it in again?
The Imperial Hotel up in Dundalk.
Imperial Hotel in Dundalk. I'm probably not. That's KitCon era. I'm probably not invited to Dundalk. No. The last time I mentioned Dundalk, I got into a lot of trouble. And
rightly so.
They're always with me, Daryl. They're always with me. They're always here. They're always next to me. When I feel I should have actually warned them for the John Delaney bit, but there you go. But yeah, you should actually give Nick one. But you haven't earned it, Nick. So
no, I haven't earned it.
No, not until you get your own press pass, mate. Kieran Boyle, lad, the build to that goal was incredible. It was a lovely bit of football. Declan Finnegan, who was over in Florida for that game, hottest.
I was gonna say Declan was at it. Yeah,
of course he was. Absolutely, Declan. Hope you're doing well. Another legendary Ireland fan. Hottest ever at a game in Orlando that day, over 100 degrees and a big concrete ball of a stadium. Water not allowed to be brought in, but the olive goal was worth it. Jesus, yeah. A mate of mine as well, John. John, if he's watching, he was at that game as well. And he always mentions it, like the fucking heat in that stadium. Like people were dropping incredible stuff.
Yeah.
Kieran, well, fair point that the away one was amazing. Thank you, Kieran. It was. You've gone up even more in my estimation. I didn't think that was possible. Nigeria 2018. Is that the famous one?
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, that was the kind of the feathers, wasn't it? Like the feather patterns. The other one, I got caught in the spot there. Like there's way more. But the Venezia jersey, the one that's actually in the graphic for the episode this morning. So I bought that a couple of months ago. Actually, I bought it at Christmas. Bought it around Christmas time, but that has to be up there. Like that's an incredible kit.
That's excellent. And we're going to finish up with Colin again. The Scotland away one from either 1994 was class 2, white with a lightning dash across the front. I remember that, Umbro, I'm pretty sure. The keeper jerseys were also cool. I recall a green and purple one. Right. Well, thank you very much for that, guys. We're going to leave it there for another week. We will have another show coming up very soon. We will announce what we're going to do next. But for the moment, if you're still looking for a bit of a fix for 2002, and now Nick is always looking for a fix for 2002, the unquenchable thirst for World Cup 2002 is Nick. But we do have our World Cup 20th anniversary, 2002 World Cup 20th anniversary show. We got a whole load of stuff there. We got watch-alongs. We got clips from Matt Holland talking his technique. Lovely technique on the ball, actually. We got a whole host of stuff there. So do give it a go. And that is over, as always, on the greenmachinepodcast.com. If you go onto our Facebook page, facebook.com/Green Machine Podcast, you get links to all sort of stuff there. If you're on Spotify, Google, whatever. Do leave us a review, by the way. As far as we haven't asked beforehand, leave us a review. That would be very much appreciated. A review and a share. Guys, we really, really, really do appreciate it. We're going to have a campaign ramping up very soon. Because if you want one of these bad boys, it's a Green Machine sticker. We're going to put a link up. And we're basically going to put a Google form document on there. If you want some stickers, you want to share them around, you want to share your love of the Green Machine Podcast, Ireland's #1 football podcast. I'm sure that's going to piss a few people off, but that's what we do. That's what we do here anyway. And we do try to be the most fan-friendly Irish podcast out there. So if you want your sticker, give us a shout. We got a few going out to New York, Florida. And we got some going down to Waterford and different parts of Ireland as well. So if you want to give us a shout.
New York, Orlando, Waterford.
And Waterford. Nothing against Waterford. Don't listen to Nick. He's a typical dub, isn't he? Isn't he a typical dub, giving out about everything there? Of course, if you want to give us a cheeky little follow on lansdowneroad.ie, we very much appreciate it. But yes, greenmachinepodcast.com for all of our podcasts. There will be an audio version of this available on the website or wherever you get your podcast from. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much. Nick, thank you for joining us. We will be back with Martin next week. We'll have a full complement. Hopefully he'll have an update on on John Courtney and his adventures on Twitter and all that good shit out there. Anyway, so we're going to see you next week. Be safe, be happy, and be Green Machine. Doesn't work, does it? No, I need to think of a better ending anyway. But anyway, listen, guys, thank you very much for tuning in again. Look after yourself. Get in touch with those stickers. Look at them. They're brilliant. And I'm sure they're all over some Greek, probably fucking all over Greece at the moment, actually, aren't they? With Martin over there, but he's probably all over his Ryanair flight as well. You probably see a man getting arrested. But anyway, listen, thank you very much. Look after yourselves, and we'll see you guys next week.